You know, I think this is very important because once you know about your freedom and you know what your ancestors went through to get it, it's very important. It's very important.
There was good and evil. We chose good.
It's very important.
Why raise the time of the Most High, ye sons of men? The rich man's wealth is in the city, yeah. Destruction of the poor is his poverty, Lord. Destruction of your soul is vanity, yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you hear?
It's very important.
I wanna rule my destiny. Yeah, I wanna rule my destiny. Whoa, whoa.
My name is Iboke Ibetayo.
Destiny. Mama, look from when you call me.
I serve in several positions in our community because I believe that we need to step up in terms of what's needed to be done in our people. So I'm just holding those posts until other people are ready to step up. But I serve as the National Secretary of ECOBRA. I serve as the male co-chair of the Atlanta chapter of ECOBRA. I serve as the first vice president of the provisional government of the Republic of New Africa. I serve on the Atlanta Unity Council, and I also serve as the Minister of Culture for the new Black Panther Party.
All right there. Yes, indeed.
Everybody can serve.
Well, it's good to be out here in the park, and it's good that this is Juneteenth. Supposedly when we got free, but we ain't free. Africa's still being raped, robbed, and plundered by imperialism and by the Western countries of the world, and even other countries are raping the resources of Africa. The African is starving and being murdered all over the world, and until we take Africa back, until we liberate Africa, we will never be free. We can never find no kind of freedom in the United States of America or nowhere else until we liberate and unify Africa. We are Africans, and the only solution to our struggle is Pan-Africanism, a united socialist Africa. We need revolution and death to imperialism, death to capitalism. Long live Pan-Africanism, long live socialism, long live Robert Mugabe in Zimbabwe, long live Fidel Castro and all revolutionaries in the world. Long live Africa.
Right there. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you, my love.
Hey, how you doing?
Minister Faye Adams Taylor, and I'm 67 years old. I was very active in the march in Greensboro. I'm from Greensboro, North Carolina. I used to march with Jesse Jackson. He was head of North Carolina A&T, and Dr. James Farmer. But this was good. Wednesday that happened in Charleston, those brothers and sisters, was a devastating thing. But there's a word of God that says some will die that many shall live. 20 years ago when we did the Million Man March, a lot of us sisters were bothered because we didn't see it continue. It happened and then it stopped. Never before in history that many black people come together in a unity and listening to the same word.
people are totally unaware, and that's why they're addicted to TV.
Well, we were talking about on the fundamental basis of edutainment. And any visual experience should only be an image of the experience within itself. Meaning it should only create a story that needs to be told, because a story would help us, ascend us, and teach us who we are and who we are not. It should be a beautiful, beautiful, well-written poetry, a visual poetry of what's in our soul, what's in our mind, what's in our spirit. So it may educate us, uplift us to higher levels of self-knowledge, self-awareness, and self-revelation. The only purpose of edutainment. So we look forward to creating stories that remind us of our story. This is what edutainment, or entertainment, should be about. Give thanks.
All right then, give thanks.
Or nationalists, we all have the same problem. They don't hang you for a Baptist, they hang you. They don't attack me because I'm a Muslim, they attack me because I'm black. They attack all of us for the same reason. All of us catch hell from the same enemy. We're all in the same bag, in the same boat. We suffer political oppression, economic exploitation, and social degradation. All of them from the same enemy. The government has failed us. You can't deny that. Anytime you live in the 20th century and you walking around here singing, we shall overcome, the government has failed us.
If I had sneezed, I wouldn't have been here in 1963. The black people of Birmingham, Alabama, aroused the conscience of this nation. Brought it to be civil rights bill. If I had
then we were waiting and we were waiting and we were waiting and nothing happened. And then God allowed this to take place at the historical Black Emmanuel Church, Emmanuel AME, which means Emmanuel means God with us, which means I'm still with you, but you've got work to do. You can't afford to sit and be passive anymore.
Yes.
It's time to get up. They're killing our boys, they're killing our children. Marching days are over. It's time to get something done.
Yes.
It's time for us to sit down and say, we're not taking it anymore. It's time for us to create child prodigies. It's time for us to teach them to be candidates so that they can represent us, because taxation without representation is against the law. So, but we need to create our leaders. We need to tell them what we expect from them. We need to tell them what their obligation is to us as a people. And once we do that, then we can move forward, because the children are the only future that we have. So if we lose them, we lose our cancel check. Tomorrow is a promissory note. It's going to be there, but are we? Today, the present is all we have. We need to get busy. I was glad to hear Farrakhan say something really, really impactful when he said, White boy walked in there, we wanted to embrace him. If a gangbanger had come in there, we would have immediately asked him to leave. What is wrong with that picture? That we don't want to bring in those who look like us and embrace them. And the other thing about that brother coming, and I call him a brother because he's a brother, because all of us are children of God's. But the thing that bothers me is that the word of God tells us to watch as well as pray. Why didn't we look at that brother and just state God tells us to watch as well as pray? Why didn't we look at that brother and just state to him and stay with him the entire time? We don't mind you being here, but we don't want you to get out of place. It's like somebody come into your house. We say make yourself comfortable, but don't make yourself at home. You can't go to every room. Whatever room you go to, you got to get permission, and we're going to go with you. But we want you to be comfortable here because that's what we do. We make our homes comfortable for strangers. So I just want to say we're moving forward. We're moving forward because we've got work to do, and it's time up for a lot of talking, all this meeting and greeting and shenanigans. It's time to be serious, and it's time to shorten up because, like I say, people like me with all this passion, I'm not going to be here a lot longer. If I live to be 100, I still have more days behind me than in front of me. So I say to all the young people, you got to get busy. You got to understand we got to prepare a world for our children to live in. God bless you.
All right. Watch and pray.
Watch as well as pray.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Yes, indeed.
There was two kinds of slaves. There was the house Negro and the field Negro. The house Negro, they lived in the house with master. They dressed pretty good. They ate good because they ate his food, what he left. They lived in the attic or the basement, but still they lived near their master. And they loved their master more than the master loved himself. They would give their life to save their master's house quicker than the master would. The house Negro, if the master said, we got a good house here, whenever the master said we, he said we. That's how you can tell a house Negro. If the master's house caught on fire, the house Negro would fight harder to put the blaze out than the master would. If the master got sick, the house Negro would say, what's the matter, boss? We sick.
Inciting large-scale arrests and sympathy marches.
I'm very aware of that, Mr. Hoover. What I do know is he's nonviolent. What I need to know right now, what's Martin Luther King about to do next?
Mr. President, Dr. King is here.
Mr. President, in the South, there have been thousands of racially motivated murders.
We need your help, Dr. King. This thing's just gonna have to wait. It cannot wait. You got one big issue, I got 101.
Summer it is.
Here is the next great battle.
Selma's the place, and they ready.
Dr. King.
I tell you, that white boy can hit.
You will not tolerate agitators attempting to orchestrate a disturbance in this state.
It is unacceptable that they use their power to keep us voiceless. Those that have gone before us say no more.
People actually say they're gonna kill our children. They're trying to get inside of your head.
What happens when a man stands up, says enough is enough? We build the path as we came, rock by rock. The sail is probably bugged. It probably is.
We must march. We must stand up.
You march those people into rural Alabama, it's gotta be open season.
May I have a word?
There's no word to be had.
The people. The people. The people. The people.
There are 70 million people watching.
These pictures are going around the world.
We must make a massive demonstration.
White, black, and otherwise. Come to Selma.
I heard about the attack of innocent people. I couldn't just stand by.
Looks like an army out there.
This revolution goes on and on. This revolution goes on and on.
Mine eyes have seen the glory, 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 hallelujah.
What happens when a man stands up, says enough is enough?
for men. The 20th anniversary of the Million Man March coming up in October. No. We're going to Washington again. But I want to tell you how we're going. There's no way, sisters, that you should bring male children into this world and have them taken from you by the ignorance of gang violence and by police brutality. That has to end.
Black Star Line, it's coming,